Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Lisa.
Good to see you.
You too.
Thank you for agreeing to create this infomonial with me on soul contract readings.
Absolutely.
And what I'd love to ask you first is, what were you expecting from the soul contract reading? What was your initial expectation?
Well, I didn't know anything about your process, or you for that matter, but I heard from another friend a soul contract reading, and I immediately thought um, that I would love to be able to tune into my soul, like separate from my ego, but like really be able to understand, what did my soul come into this life wanting to do, and what sort of challenges would put forth for me. And so that's the idea that I had in my head, was that we would get to that place where we would find out what my soul's plan was. And I loved that. I loved that idea.
Did what occurred, did it meet your expectations?
It did. So like I said, I didn't know what the process would be.
Yeah.
So I was very open, and I really I liked how much information there was, and I liked that it was really in depth, so much so that I feel like it's going to continue to speak to me even after our call together.
Yeah.
And so I think it definitely went beyond my expectations as far as what I would get out of it.
Were you surprised at the degree of the detail?
I was, yeah. And things that some of the things I see in my life, and they resonated right away. And other things, I was sort of like, oh, like that's something I was not really wanting to see, or maybe some things that haven't quite shown their face, And so, so there's a lot to it. There was definitely a lot in it.
Did you find the recommendations helpful to you?
The recommendations from you?
Yeah, that came through the reading in terms of managing karmic aspects, managing goal aspects.
Yes, yes, I did. And like I said, I really want to sit down with it more thoroughly. I've had a chance to look at it again, but I really want to go back through and sit down with it more thoroughly, so that I can absorb it on more levels, and really take more from it.
Makes sense. It's one thing to have the conversation, the transmission. It's so powerful, and then it's a beautiful thing to be able to listen to the recording again.
Yes.
So
yes.
I have to ask you, how has the soul contract reading impacted your life?
How has it impacted my life? I think it has made me feel more at peace with who I am, because it's really, like I said, it identified things that I maybe saw in myself, but maybe tried to push away, or didn't want to own that, as if it wasn't the right thing. And this really gave me permission to say, no, this is exactly who I am, and with that, more confidence in being that and showing up as that. So I think that's first and foremost, that's where it has impacted me right off the bat.
And my final question, for those who might be listening to this conversation we're having, do you have any information you want to share with them, any insights in case they're curious and want to experience this with me?
Well, I think, and this was the piece I didn't know going into it, but the information that you gave me, the fact that you gave me the recording and then the written notes. I mean, written notes are like, I love the information like that, and so to have all that in my hands now, that I can go back through, and like I said, it was so much depth to it and so many layers, and so I really appreciate that, having all of that information. So I would say to someone that it's a lot of information that they would be getting, and but you get all the support stuff to take it home with you and keep and let it grow upon itself. So it keeps going. It's like, even though our initial meeting together is complete, it's not. My soul contract reading continues to unfold for me.
Yeah.
And going forward.
That totally makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for daring to do this with me.
You are welcome, and thank you so much, Lisa.
And we started as perfect strangers, but now I feel like we're soul sisters.
Me too.
That's kind of my favorite piece, is wow, what a cool thing.
Yeah.
So I will see you in a couple weeks.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.